Didn't want to do it, but I'ma do it anyway. It's 'cause I care. It's 'cause I care. Alright, moving on from log number 8 about natural beauty, fishing, and the moon and stars. Moving on to log number 9. It's about sacrifice, scheming, and being the model. So sacrifice. So back in the day, we used to have to make blood sacrifices. And that was before Jesus came in and became the Lamb of Lambs. The blood sacrifice, which was obviously the most important thing for us to be able to move on and to be able to accept forgiveness and to move on from the old laws, as in an eye for an eye, and making the world a super blind place. Now, back in the day, you would have had to obviously given up your most obviously best possession of a flock, as in a cow or anything like that, or even people were tested to give up sacrifices of their own children, which is absolutely insane, but that's the test of sacrifices that these people used to have to go through and have to experience. I mean, can you imagine like picking your most favorite animal out of the herd that you love the most and is doing the best, and then you have to go kill it for your God? I mean, it's a super huge test for doing something like that, but it's the true test back in the day and the commitment that you had to go through, and it was super hard to do. And I think that's why God gave his own son and sent his own son down in the form of himself as the Lamb of Lambs, so we could move on from all of that hard types of sacrifice. Now, this does not mean, though, that you don't have sacrifices still in this world today. Now, these sacrifices, the first one I think and is the most important is your time being number one. Material possessions is another. Money that is just sitting around and not helping, the things that you need in life that could obviously help other people is another huge sacrifice. Pride in your type of way you act, by dropping anger when it's not needed, not looking down on anything or anyone, for everything has power that's unknown, that you don't even have clue. Even the things themselves don't even know what type of power can lie within inside of them. Dropping grudges and forgiving. It's a huge one, and it's a hard one. But none of these things would be easy if it wasn't a huge test to be able to grow, because nothing comes easy when you grow. Dropping to your knees even sometimes, and even taking it further, putting your face to the ground and praying when you do pray, if you do pray, to the Holy Trinity. Serving the light of the Lord and who his power stands with, including prophets is the one that's huge, but people don't think about. And I know it's hokey, but it's true. And your power in churches and the people who support all of what the Lord's light and his message and his plan is. And these are just some examples and hard examples for sacrifice. Now this moves on to the next part, scheming. Now, in my eyes, it's not so much the act that is done, which is the most evil part of the sin, but it's the skill, the talent, the energy, the mindset, the planning, the scheming, and the most important, again, I can't even stress this, the time you waste or is used in the wrong way for you to get something that you desired in a wrong way, and could have been used for good in an unselfish act instead of a selfish one. All it does is expose your intelligence that was there, and you still decided to use it for bad in the selfish cause. From using your good looks and charm, to money, to strength, and forcing some clever way of forcing your way in. Whatever in which tool you decide to use could be just as well used for good or switched into a good way instead of scumming up your name and all your family's name that is tied with you. Because you're not only just reflecting on who you are, but everyone you have relationships with, your family, your friends, and everyone who comes in contact with you and who wants to be affiliated with you. And if you don't care enough about your self-respect, you should at least have enough respect for other loved ones and other friends and people you know to not do these things, or at least be around people or even be in the same name boat of doing them. I mean, obviously the best way is just not doing it at all. And then this moves on to being the model. Now, as simple as this, being the model, instead of crying about stuff and complaining, because that will only get you so far, stand up and go do it. Be the model. You're going to have to show people what you want. Because, I mean, I'm from the Missouri state, and it's the show me state. We learn the best. So, like, if you talk, you talk. We need to see it around here, because so show me. But, yeah. Everyone has power, like I was saying earlier. So being from small to big, small things, small simple acts of kindness and every deeds of all folk, small to big, can be the change of the course of all the future. Finding courage in one another and strength will give each other a lot more power, because power comes with numbers. And same with ideas and things like that will all come together and will evolve for things to become easier and to be able to fight through things that come up, hardships ahead, because life is not just smooth sailing at all. It has its hardships. And then going into how small things like keys or many different things can unlock even kingdoms, or get you to drive a whole entire ship or whatever. So obviously small things are very big in themselves. It's just you got to understand and see the view of the small to big things ratio. Just like in survival, you need to have the right leadership, from teaching it to be clean and to keep on the right path, and what right things and what wrong things to eat, and what water to be able to drink, and if it's filtered enough or whatnot, and to be able to keep you from getting sick or anything like that. You got to be the model and teach people the right way. And this goes from physical to mental, and then obviously even deeper to your spiritual and spirit realms, to the right people who have that median. In reality, everything is mental. Even if you want to move any body part of you, it still all starts and allows you to do something through your brain's CPU. Why you're programmed to do so many things you like and you cannot explain without the makers knowing, and whoever made you's knowing to tell you why you've done it and why they've made you the way. But I think there's things that will expose you to what you're supposed to be doing if you keep an ear open and an eye open, and you use all your senses the right way, and even finding the right people that can show you the right things. Now, this is the end of log number 9, and the next log we'll move on to gray areas, bridges, and entertainment. Now, thank you all for listening, and I hope y'all learned something.